Hello there, Manjula, and welcome to the Sentence Guide course. Well done for getting this far. I've already had a quick scan of your writing, and it looks quite good, actually. Very impressed. Well done. My name's Andrew, by the way. I'll be reading through your work today, and along the way, I'll make some small corrections, give you some advice, and just maybe expand some vocabulary if it's necessary, but mostly listen through for those small errors as well. If there are any errors in things like articles and prepositions, it's good to really focus on them throughout the course, so by the end you can have the skills of a proofreader. So let's start up here. It is a contentious argument whether reading or doing entertaining activities, that should be plural, activities, whether reading or doing activities is better for a child's development. Doing an enjoyable activity such as playing with electronic, I would say games consoles, and I would remove electronic. I would just say games consoles because there are no non-electronic games consoles, so this becomes unnecessary because these are all electronic. So playing with games consoles or doing a sport has more positive ramifications, such as improving it's either a child's or improving children's cognitive skills, spatial skills, and reflexes, because we've already said improving here, so we don't need to say it again in the same sentence, so we'll just remove this. Improving children's cognitive, spatial, and what we could do, actually, to stop repeating this as well, say improving children's cognitive and spatial skills as well as their reflexes. But what we've got is a lot of repetition here. So let's, if you find yourself repeating yourself, there's usually a way to trim it down. Firstly, playing with games consoles has more positive impacts, has a more positive impact on children's development, which cannot be obtained by reading alone. This is largely because the overall experience of gaming is engaging a child mentally, visually, and physically, which catalyse development. For example, studies by Oxford University show that kids play PlayStation. So here psychometric is all one word, but actually, do you know what, that paragraph is great. Children's development, that needs to be, has a more positive impact, or a greater positive impact, you could say. Playing with games consoles has a greater positive impact on children's development, which cannot be obtained by reading alone. So that one. I like that sentence, and then you've got your example, and then a good finisher. So yeah, other than that, great. Secondly, children who are involved only in reading. Yeah, I would say children who are involved only in reading, or children who only read, would not develop cognitive and physical abilities in comparison with kids who do sports. This is due to the fact that sport helps in developing cognitive and physical abilities. See, again, with the repetition sticks out there, because you've just said cognitive and physical abilities twice. So if we're just going to talk about the fact that cognitive and physical abilities exist here, maybe we should elaborate here and talk about what the cognitive and physical abilities and how they are better. So expand the idea slightly more. In a section of the IELTS mark scheme, it talks about that each of your arguments, that each of your points is fully expanded and supported. So here, these two sentences kind of say the same thing. So what this one should do is expand on the previous sentence. So, for instance, studies by a British Sports Society, is it the British Sports Society, maybe? Have shown that young school children or young students, all of these words together is a little bit much. Just choose two of them. Who take part in sports are physically stronger than those who do not play. Those who do not play. Therefore, it is obvious that doing sports. So, one thing here, whenever I'm reading an essay, I never like to be told that something's obvious. It just gets my back up. I don't know why. I think in academic writing, we're trying to explain things to people in I suppose, a polite way. So to tell someone that something is obvious feels slightly rude. So I would just refrain from using the word obvious in writing, really, at all. And also, we're not saying that we're doing sports instead of reading. We're just saying which ones can develop skills and imagination better. But that's one of the things, again, in the question, it asks you specifically about imagination. It would be wise to mention it somewhere to make sure that you're covering the task properly. Because if it specifically asks about imagination, it wants you to talk about imagination. So, yeah, fully cover the aspects of the question. That would be wonderful. So to conclude, although reading is important in knowledge acquisition, doing an enjoyable activity is vital in the overall development of a child. For this reason, I believe parents and teachers should encourage children more to participate in activities and sports in the future. Cool, that's all good actually. At least, you've kept it together very, very well. It's very well structured. You've stuck to the acronym. But some points could be expanded. But actually as well, your grammar is good. It's not bad at all. Oh, well done. Let's have a look at your second one. So many people think that interaction between family members has been reduced in the digital age. I wouldn't say this digital age, because there's only one, and it's this one. So we just say the digital age. Considering the development of, let's not repeat. So considering the development of modern technologies, modern technologies will do, or just technology. And workplace culture. Workplace is all one word. Workplace culture. I believe that family members and friends have been brought closer than ever before. I believe that family members and friends have been brought closer than ever before. Firstly, widespread use of mobile phones is a new phenomenon which positively affects human interaction. It either has positive effects on, or it positively affects human interaction. So we've mixed up two phrases there. It has positive effects, or it positively affects human interaction. This is largely because family members can keep in touch while they are away from home. Kids can call their parents when they go out, and parents can contact their kids while they are at work. Wonderful use of a semicolon. Excellent sentence. This was not the case 15 years ago due to the lack of connectivity and strict workplace ethics. Therefore, it is clear that there have been significant techno-social changes. My brain doesn't recognise it very well. I would suggest changing that. If you wanted to do a portmanteau like that, it would be something like socio-technological. You could say socio-technological change. So it is clear that there has been significant socio-technological change over the last 2 decades, which has had positive ramifications on human intimacy, or for human intimacy, I would say, which has had positive ramifications for human intimacy. Secondly, evolution of the internet and communication software has had a tremendous effect on communication. So once again, we need to make sure we are using the past perfect. You could either say, if you're talking about now, so the evolution of the internet is having a tremendous effect. But I would say, so I would talk about, especially in an academic essay, we want to be talking about things that have already happened, because we are referencing facts and truth. So most of what we're talking about has already happened, and we add very few conclusions ourselves. So, has had a tremendous effect on communication. This is due to the fact that the internet is easily available for even low-income families who can use internet-based communication applications such as Skype to keep in touch with their families abroad. I would say that sentence is a bit long. It could do with some commas, punctuation in that one. For instance, it is common that immigrant families in the UK use Skype to make video calls to their families back home quite frequently. With these evidences, quite is a word that is avoided in academic essays because it's a little bit ambiguous. It's not very specific. It doesn't say very much, so it's not often used. It's not that important. The examiner in an IELTS exam probably wouldn't even notice, but in a university, for instance, that would be picked up on. So with this evidence, it is easy to debunk the argument that the interaction, or that, I would refer to them directly. So with this evidence, it is easy to debunk the argument that family members interact less in this age, or in this day and age. To conclude, even though there is some evidence that people become isolated because of screen-based media, become isolated, so again, past, because of screen-based media, there are more benefits considering the fact that technology brings friends and family closer. Yeah, I'd say that's fine. You have stated your opinion, you stuck to the question. All good. I would just, there was a couple of, the only significant errors that sort of caught my eye on that one were with the tense conjugations. I'd brush up on past perfect tense, because that's really good to use in essays, to refer to past completed actions, things that have definitely happened in the past. It's a convincing and credible way to speak academically. But well done, they are great. What we need you to do now is send us an email, all in one email, your error list that you have written down from this recording, as well as these essays with the corrections applied, and then the answers to the 2 new questions that we've sent you. But cheers, Manjula. Thanks again for getting this far, and good luck. I'll speak to you again very, very soon. Bye-bye now.